Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. I hope that everyone is doing well so far. We've had a busy morning. At least I have. What about you, Audra?
Oh, yes, most definitely. And this has been the week of computer issues and just, making me crazy, and it's been another one of those mornings. So,
Yep, I understand. I
so
know.
your to-do list is this long and then your computer won't cooperate. So,
So then it doubles your list.
yeah. Yes, yes indeed.
Oh,
But hey, at
um,
least I got my hair somewhat fixed this morning and put light bulbs in just to be able to do Facebook Live today. So you should all feel privileged out there. Very, very lucky.
oh, I know. I feel kind of backlit here. Let's see. There, that's a little bit better.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Okay. So in case you missed last Wednesday, we will be doing a Facebook Live every Wednesday for this year. Hopefully, that's the plan, anyways. And we'll be covering topics that range from publicity, marketing, social media, pretty much anything that we think would be helpful for you as authors, publishers, book reviewers, readers in general. And we are always open to taking topic suggestions as well. So feel free to put those in the comments. If you are rewatching this, we will still keep an eye on the comments, even though they won't be live while you rewatch this. But yeah, definitely still comment because we will keep an eye on that. And feel free to ask us any questions you have along the way as well. If you happen to be watching this live, hopefully we'll be able to answer it. And yeah, we're excited. So today's topic is what makes a good blog. But first, I thought that we should introduce ourselves in case you missed last week. So my name's Caitlin. I am the social media director here at LitFuse. I do a bunch of other random things as well, but primarily my focus is social media. And Audra and I wanted to talk about what books we're reading because we thought that would be interesting for you guys, since I'm sure that you love to read if you're watching this. And for me right now, I have about 50 pages left in a book called Hello Sunshine by Laura Dave, and I'm really enjoying it. I read one of her other books called 800 Grapes. Loved that one and loved this particular book just as much. And it's the large print version that they had at the library. So, like,
Are
I
you
feel
getting
like,
old,
I
Caitlin?
know, I feel like I
How's
could
that
read it
doing,
across the
baby?
room. So when I say like 50 pages left of a large print book, it's really like 20 pages left of a.
Oh, you could have stayed up late last night and finished that one off.
I tried to, but I couldn't.
And then were you doing the whole book hitting
Oh
your face
man,
thing?
not quite. I always lay on my side when I read, so it's like the pillow acts as the book rest, so I never have it actually fall on my face. But you
Oh.
know, what about you, Audra?
Well, right now I'm mainly reading for like press kits and to know what's going on with some of our new authors. So I've been reading Being Brave by Kelly Johnson, one of our new projects. And we'll be a little bit later in the week, hopefully this afternoon even, reading some of Never Alone. So I think that was going to be a good one.
Yeah, good, good, good. Well, we wanted to cover what makes a good blog today. A lot of the reasoning behind this is because in this age of social media, where you're kind of at the mercy of the social media platform's algorithms in terms of organic reach and getting engagement that way, really your blog, your website, your newsletter are kind of, they're yours to do with what you want. They are not influenced by any sort of algorithm. So really, they are entirely yours online, which is, a very special thing. So we wanted to cover kind of the basics of what makes a good blog, at least in our experience. And Audra and I, we both have blogs. We both, know the ins and outs of the behind the scenes of WordPress, Squarespace, blah, 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 Blogger. Trying to think of what else. I've used Wix before. Like, you name it, I feel like we've used it, whether it's for us, for an author that we've been working with, and we have seen many, many blogs throughout our time here with. Yes. So I feel like we have a pretty good understanding of what makes a good blog. So Audra, do you want to go ahead and start?
I think to me, a good blog has variety. So they're not necessarily too set in one particular thing. Like, I know even when publishers come to us looking for blogs, they're looking for something to review books, something that shares a little bit about, an author personally, or the blog author. It can be an author or it can be a reviewer. Share something personal, and it just variety is the spice of life. So anything that you can kind of get into, more than being just very narrow, you have a chance of bringing more of an audience in. So that would be my first thing, is I think a blog needs to have variety.
Definitely. And I think my first thing is that you, as a blogger, whether you're an author or a book reviewer, or you just feel like you have something to say, so you have a blog, I think that more than anything, it's important to have posts that are readable. And I'm not just talking about, making sure that you have correct grammar, punctuation, etc., etc. I'm talking about things like, how long is the blog post? We live in a day and age where people want things fast, they want things immediate, and they don't want to spend a lot of time reading blog posts that are, 5,000 words long. So
don't read my blog on a Monday night.
Yeah. Well, sometimes The Bachelor requires 5,000 words with the amount of craziness that happens on there. But, I do think that 500 words is kind of the sweet spot. And, if you have taken any sort of journalism class or anything like that, what they'll tell you is they'll tell you to put the most important information at the beginning, because that's when you have people's full attention, is at the very beginning. And as you kind of, move throughout the writing process, you just want to not put, I don't want to say that your words aren't important at the end, but, people do start to lose attention and start to think about other things and click away by the end of your blog piece. So really try to capture them at the beginning. And also another thing too that makes a post readable is breaking it up so that the paragraphs look shorter, so that you have headers in between different sections if you happen to be kind of segueing into, multiple tips or, whatever that might be. Let's say you're a book reviewer, so you want to give your thoughts, but you also want to provide a bit of a summary. Maybe you have an interview question with the author or something like that. So it's always good to break those up with headers as well, that make it very clear that, that there are different sections of the blog post. And, that really, it's really an aesthetic thing, but it really does play a mind trick on the reader and holds their attention better if you do use headers that way as well.
As long as in the readability, there aren't ads in the middle of your blog. If you happen to have some kind of blog that you're trying to monetize, just make sure that ads don't come in the middle, because if people have to keep scrolling past that, you're going to lose some people. And most blogs don't have that. I'm just thinking of most of the time, when you try to read an article, you get really distracted by that, and then you just kind of give up on the blog post.
That's so true. That's so true. Something that I think is also very important, that I feel like either you take the time to learn this or you don't, is SEO, search engine optimization. I think of how many book reviews we see that don't mention the book anywhere in any part of the post, or even the title sometimes, which is...
Why do you do that?
I know. It's so insane to me. So, there are some really great free courses that you can take on SEO. You can watch YouTube videos. Take the time to learn SEO, and I think that you'll see an increase in traffic. And, it's better. Your blog will be better off, over time in the future if you do take that time to learn SEO.
One thing I would say too is everybody doesn't have to be a graphic designer, but you need to make your blog appealing and make a good first impression as soon as they go and click on it. And sometimes that means freshening it up from time to time. I know I probably need to do that myself of, kind of giving it a new look occasionally, but really make sure that it is visually appealing. And just kind of throwing in, like Caitlin was talking about, not mentioning the name of the book. For goodness sakes, use a book cover. Share the book cover. I have a certain person I work with that doesn't ever use the book cover. And I'm like, oh, remember, here you go. That if you're going to be legit in being a book reviewer, make sure you're using a book cover, because that's how people connect with the book. They're going to remember a cover more so than just the title. So they may remember it, kind of put both together. But yeah, make sure you're using graphics in your posts. Yeah.
Definitely. And make sure that they're cohesive with the overall branding of your blog. Again, you don't have to be a graphic designer, but at least be consistent in the font that you use, in the colors that you use. It will go a long way in the long run. Along the lines of the look of your blog as well, something that really frustrates me when I go to visit a blog, whether that's an author's blog or a book reviewer's blog, is if there is no search bar that is on the right-hand side towards the top. Like, I get so frustrated. Make your search bar easily findable. Like, you don't want to have to search for the search bar,
Yes. Preach.
But it's true, though. It's true. You just want to make things as easy as possible for people. People are lazy, and they're especially lazy online. So make that search bar easy to find. Make those social media icons easy to find. Usually they're best placed.
Your email address easy to find.
Amen. Yeah.
Because if someone comes along and is trying to find how to contact you because they're like, ooh, I really like your blog, I would like this person to review something I have or make a connection, you've got to be able to find the contact info. That's big. Make sure people can find you. Even if it's a contact bar or a contact form, link or something on the sidebar or somewhere. Just, yeah. Oh, in fact, why don't you just put it next to your search bar?
Yes.
That'll be awesome. We can find how to search your blog, and we can contact you.
That's exactly right. Yes, that's so true. And, a lot of people put it on the right-hand side of their pages, and that's because humans' eyes are naturally drawn to the right side of things. When you look at a magazine, you'll notice that the majority of the ads are placed on the right-hand side. And that's because, despite the fact that we usually start reading on the left and move to the right, our eye is naturally drawn to the right-hand side. So,
okay, I need to go switch that on my blog today. But then I did have a math teacher that always thought I was dyslexic because of how I drew my pictures in trig class. I just told him he was left-handed, but, maybe that explains something.
Yeah, well, that's why a lot of, blogs, websites, etc., you'll see that, there's a right-hand sidebar, and that's just because, that's kind of where the eye naturally goes. So, let's see. Sorry if you hear some growling in the background. I'm pretty sure the postman is walking up to my door at this exact moment. So, all right, that was all that I had on my list, Audra. What about you?
Okay, I think this is a question. Well, this is something that comes up is what makes a good blog and what has a good following depends on how often you post.
Mm.
So people aren't going to necessarily visit if you are a once every other month blogger. So in order to keep consistency, make sure you are posting regularly. That does not have to be every day, but it needs to be at least a couple of times a week. Or whatever your schedule is, make sure you stick to it. If you can only work out one blog post a week, okay, but make sure you're consistent with that. What would you say is the best number of posts per week, Caitlin?
I think 2 is kind of the sweet spot. And I'm not sure how current this research is, but a lot of times, at least in the past, posts on Monday do well because everybody's on their computers on Monday because it's the start of the work week.
And avoiding what you really need to do.
Yes. It's true, though. It's true. So, I would just say, again, come up with a schedule. Hold yourself to that schedule as well. Sometimes life gets in the way, and I understand that firsthand. But if you aren't updating your blog and then you say to your publicist or your social media manager, no one's coming to my website. Well, it's like, have you updated it in a while? Do you even have a blog? Because if you don't even have a blog, there's really no reason for people to come to your website consistently. It's just kind of a one-time thing. So yeah, I echo what Audra says there. Be consistent, come up with some sort of schedule, and people will come to expect that. We're humans. We like routines. We like to get into the groove of things. So yeah.
One more thing, and I know we're getting short on time, and we will probably do a whole entire session on this, but commenting on blogs. Just share real quick about commenting on blogs and how people really don't do that anymore. So it's not a good guideline for measuring visitors and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I love to read style blogs, and if you go back 2 years, 3 years to some of these style bloggers who are extremely popular, you'll see that they have 400 or 500 comments on their blog posts. And today, you'll see that maybe on a really good day, they'll have 50. And remember, these are like very popular bloggers with like hundreds of thousands of Instagram followers, etc. So commenting is really, it's not an accurate measure of how effective your blog posts are. I'm going to say it again. People are lazy. And so I think that they would much rather send out a tweet or double tap on an Instagram post than actually take the time to log in to a comment software system, type their comment, and then hit post.
Because part of the thing is even if they do comment, they're not going to come back to revisit the conversation because they're not going to get notifications like they do on Facebook. So most of the conversations are actually happening on Facebook and not, or another form of social media. They're not happening on the post.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard, especially people on the phone. There's so many levels to have to log into comments. Like I have people that tell me I never get a comment on my blog, but I have people tell me, oh, I really thought that was funny when you post that. I get more comments actually in person with people telling me they read it than I ever do on comments. So Just because they aren't commenting doesn't mean they aren't reading it.
Yes. Amen. Amen.
But we'll talk more about that some other time.
Yes, we will. We will. We can dive into each of the things that we mentioned a little bit deeper in future Facebook Lives. But for now, I think that's all that we have. Again, if you have any questions or future topic suggestions, leave them below. And we'll see you guys again next week with another Facebook Live. Bye, everybody.
Bye.